secret life of Barron Trump, the youngest son of one of the world's most infamous humans, raised in a bubble of extreme luxury and secrecy at the cost of millions, has finally stepped into the spotlight. The childhood of Barron Trump they tried to keep secret. Born on March 20th, 2006, Barron William Trump grew up in a life of extreme privilege behind the closed doors of the world's most exclusive and heavily guarded residences, Trump Tower and the White House. Barron grew up in the family's gilded penthouse, where he had an entire floor to himself. This wasn't just any luxury apartment. Barron's space was decorated to his tastes, full of clean lines and a white aesthetic that his mother, Melania, described as sophisticated beyond his years. But Barron did not immediately relocate to the White House following his father's inauguration in January 2017. Instead, he remained in New York City, completing his academic year at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School. Throughout this time, he lived in Trump Tower on Manhattan's famed Fifth Avenue, only visiting Washington, D.C. or Mar-a-Lago, the family's Florida estate, on weekends and during holidays. It wasn't until June 2017 that Barron, along with his mother, Melania, officially moved to the U.S. Capitol. The decision to stay in New York, however, came with significant costs. The protection provided by the New York Police Department and the Secret Service during the family's time in Manhattan is estimated to have cost New York City taxpayers around $1 million per day. One reason behind the delayed move was Melania's desire to revise her prenuptial agreement with Donald Trump. Her goal was to ensure that Barron's inheritance would be equal to that of his older siblings, both financially and in terms of his future role within the Trump organization. It was a strategic move intended to secure Barron's position in the family empire. Barron officially moved into the White House in June 2017, 5 months after his father took office. At just 11 years old, Barron became the first boy to live in the White House since John F. Kennedy Jr., who famously played in the Oval Office just days before his father's assassination. While his father was navigating the whirlwind of politics, Barron was navigating the strange reality of being a teenager with round-the-clock Secret Service protection. But even though he had everything a child could dream of, Barron's early years were extremely isolated. He was kept away from the public eye, with only the occasional appearance in extremely controlled environments. Barron's childhood was completely different to his other siblings. Melania took a very hands-on approach to raising him, unlike Trump's other children who were thrust into the public eye and business world from a young age. Melania focused on keeping Barron's life as normal as possible, for example, cooking him breakfast every morning, though normal in the Trump world still means being chauffeured and followed by private security everywhere. She said that one of Barron's favorite activities as a kid was building cities and airports out of Legos and Magna tiles, a hobby that might give us a clue about his interest in architecture and design. Thanks to his mother's Slovenian heritage, what most people don't realize about Barron, given his quiet demeanor, is that he's bilingual, speaking both English and Slovene. He's also been known to dabble in French, giving him a linguistic edge that few people are aware of. The elite teen years of Barron Trump. Barron attended St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland, an elite private school with tuition fees starting at $38,000 a semester. Little is known about his time there, as throughout his school years, he only made headlines for his height, which by the age of 14 saw him overtake his parents' height. Today, at around 6 feet 7 inches, Barron towers over Donald Trump, who often jokes that his son should have pursued basketball, though Barron himself prefers soccer. Barron isn't just a casual soccer fan, he's got some real skills on the field. Over the years, he's been spotted playing in local games and participating in youth soccer programs. His interest in the sport has been one of the few things he shares with the public, even when the rest of his life remains off limits. He has been seen wearing an Arsenal Football Club jersey and played for DC United's under-12 team, as well as the Arlington Soccer Association's under-14 team. When the pandemic hit in 2020, Donald Trump mentioned that Barron was in his room, missing the active life he had previously enjoyed, particularly due to the suspension of school and sports activities. Barron's secret indulgences. Like many teens, Barron also loves gaming. Donald Trump once referred to Barron as a computer whiz during his 2016 presidential campaign, and Melania confirmed in 2018 that Barron did not have any social media accounts. But speculation arose that Barron might have a secret gaming profile, more specifically enjoying popular war video games, especially Clash of Clans, using them to connect with peers in virtual worlds that offer him some escape from the highly controlled life he leads. Some even suggested he was active on Roblox, enjoying K-pop and anime. After his father lost the election in 2021, he left the White House and settled into a quieter life with his parents at their Mar-a-Lago estate. Their sprawling 20-acre estate serves as both a private club and the Trump family's residence. Barron, who is largely kept out of the public eye, resides in the family's private quarters in the estate's 58-room mansion. The estate is the highest echelon of privilege and includes 33 bathrooms, private beach access, 9-hole golf course, a spa, tennis courts, a ballroom, and 3 bomb shelters. Shortly after moving there, Barron had enrolled at a new school called Oxbridge Academy, an elite private school in Palm Beach, Florida, with an annual tuition of a staggering $41,500. At Oxbridge, he was described as an enigma, rarely attending social events, and when he did, he was reserved. One of his former classmates have shared glimpses of what it was like attending school with the former first son. Registered under the alias Jack, he tried to keep a low profile, but standing at an impressive 6 feet 7 inches and always surrounded by Secret Service agents, Barron was hard to miss physically. Barron couldn't participate in the usual high school activities like sports, clubs, or even be featured on the school's social media pages. According to reports, he didn't even make it into the yearbook. Melania was reportedly concerned that any pictures of him might fall into the wrong hands. His protection was so tight that agents would even stand guard outside the bathroom when he needed to go. Despite these unusual circumstances, Barron managed to stay calm and collected. A former classmate described him to the Daily Mail. Barron was very funny and sociable. He was also very mysterious. He never attended football games or dances. I don't think he met up with anyone outside of school or went on dates. Barron might have stayed out of the spotlight for most of his life, but there's one person who's always been by his side: Bo Loudon. Bo, a 17-year-old conservative influencer, is not only Barron's best friend, but has also become a key part of Donald Trump's strategy to capture the Gen Z vote. As Trump gears up for another campaign, he's reportedly leaning on Barron and Bo to help him connect with younger voters. Despite Barron's reputation for being mysterious during his high school years, insiders now reveal that Bo was his constant companion, sticking with him through the ups and downs of their unique lives. He eventually became a part of the graduating class of 2024. Both Donald and Melania Trump were front and center for his big day on May 17, 2024, as Barron received his diploma, marking the end of his high school journey. Barron enters the public eye by breaking family tradition. By 2024, Barron Trump made a bold move into the public eye by enrolling at New York University's Stern School of Business, breaking the Trump family tradition of attending the University of Pennsylvania. His decision to study business at NYU signals a desire to carve out his own identity, away from the towering legacy of his father and siblings. On Barron's first day of school, September 4th, flanked by Secret Service agents, Barron was spotted making his way through the bustling streets of Manhattan, a black Swiss gear backpack slung over his shoulder. As much as someone of his stature and security presence could blend in, he did so effortlessly on his first day of the academic year, navigating the city like any other student. The downtown campus, known for its high-end atmosphere and hefty $62,700 a year tuition, became his new academic playground. While it's unclear if NYU will heighten security due to Barron's presence, the former first son won't be living on campus. Instead, he's expected to commute from Trump Tower, his father's iconic Fifth Avenue residence, and where he grew up. The residence is in stark contrast to most NYU freshmen who will be living in cramped dorms and sharing bathrooms. This transition to NYU marks a critical turning point for Barron as he steps into a more independent space where social interactions and personal growth will now take center stage. But what does Barron's future look like, and will he continue to break family tradition? As of now, Barron has shown little interest in the political and media spotlight that his older siblings have so eagerly embraced. However, with his enrollment at NYU's business school, speculation is swirling about whether Barron is quietly preparing for a role in the Trump business empire. But that's where things get interesting, as although Barron has stayed out of the spotlight, with no presence on any social media platform, Donald has revealed that his youngest son actually has a keen interest in politics. During a radio interview in May, Trump shared that Barron occasionally gives him campaign advice.
But he's a good-looking guy, and he's really been a great student, and he does like politics. It's sort of funny. He'll tell me sometimes, "Dad, this is what you have to do." So anyway, he's a good guy.
At the 2024 Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Barron got his first opportunity in politics as he was selected to serve as a delegate alongside his half-siblings, Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric. It was supposed to be his biggest political role yet. However, in May, the office of Melania Trump announced that Barron would no longer participate due to other commitments. Their statement read, "While Barron is honored to have been chosen, he regretfully declines, leaving many wondering when, or if, he'd take a more active role in politics." However, on July 9th, Barron clarified his stance by making his official campaign rally debut in Doral, Florida, standing beside his father at the crowded event. The former president proudly introduced his youngest son to the audience, marking Barron's first public appearance at a rally.
A very young man. He's now going to college, got into every college he wanted to, and he's a very good guy, I'll tell you.
In photos shared on Donald Trump's Truth social platform, Barron was seen smiling, even pumping his fist in the air in support of his father. Donald, clearly enjoying the moment, pointed out how rare it was for Barron to make a public appearance.
That's the first time he's done it. That's the first time, right? Hey, you're pretty popular, right?
But Barron hasn't entirely distanced himself from his father's campaign. According to reports from the Daily Mail, Barron and Beau have been instrumental behind the scenes in Trump's campaign in securing him an interview with Aiden Ross, a popular streamer with a massive following. The live-streamed interview, which has since gained over 2.5 million views, was a significant moment in Trump's efforts to reach young voters. Trump also joined comedian Theo Von on this past weekend, that according to the former president was also set up by Barron.
My son's a big fan of yours, Barron.
Really, Barron is?
Yeah, he knows you very well. He said, "Dad, he's big."
Wow.
Yeah, big one.
That's cool.
So that's good. Well, that's where it is nowadays, right?
But Barron's influence doesn't end there. He also convinced his father to sit down with influencer Logan Paul, where Trump discussed pop culture topics. Barron hasn't just been coordinating meetings for his father, he's also been meeting internet personalities himself, including Justin Waller, who shared his experience meeting Barron Trump, saying that the encounter left a lasting impression on him. According to Waller, the introduction came through an unexpected Instagram message from Barron's best friend, Beau. Beau casually mentioned that Barron had become a fan of Waller's content and wanted to extend an invitation to Mar-a-Lago. What might seem like a surreal opportunity for most people, Waller accepted without hesitation, showing up to meet Barron, Beau, and a few others for dinner. The evening was far from ordinary. They dined together while former President Donald Trump sat at the next table, casually playing music on his laptop. Waller recalled the moment Trump walked over to their table to speak, which only added to the surreal nature of the entire event. Waller was deeply impressed by Barron's maturity and his deep understanding of the world.
Barron's a pro, bro. You can't talk about Barron like he's a young guy. 99.9% of grown men do not understand the world the way Barron Trump understands the world. Not only does he understand it, he understands where his position is. He understands the things that I think that his father understands. And I think he is a person that can lean into that and do very, very well. And he's not scared of it. I think he's very, very special.
What struck Waller most was Barron's ability to balance humor and seriousness.
He's really cool too. Like the first time I ever talked to him on the phone, I was calling him derogatory terms and he thought it was hilarious. You know, because like nobody talks to him like that. Yeah. And so we're just like cutting up and like talking like guys. He's very down to earth, but he knows when to button it up. He's sharp, dude.
Could Barron be the next Trump to rise in the ranks of business or politics? Or will he choose a completely different path, one that allows him to build a life out of the public eye? What lies ahead for Barron Trump? As Barron steps into adulthood, the world will no doubt continue to watch with fascination. His upbringing, while shrouded in secrecy, hints at a complex individual who has learned to balance privilege with privacy. The question now is, will Barron continue to navigate his life with the same quiet restraint, or will college bring out a side of him we've never seen before? For more interesting stories about high-profile individuals, check out these videos.